Okay, so my last video of this morning, at least, is that when lukewarm Christians act nice, I'm telling you that the reason they do that is because they know the consequences of standing on truth and calling for repentance without using your soft college seminary voice to like try and appeal to people, because they know that if they actually stood on truth and repentance and preached the whole Bible and said what the Bible actually says, then they would face consequences for it, and they don't want any consequences for their faith. That's why they have rock concert Christianity. And that is why they choose not to believe the whole Bible. They choose to believe what the world says about the Bible. Giants, flat earth, Calvinism, which is a college ideology. And basically, they do that because they know that they don't want to suffer for Christ. God forbid that they die for Christ. They would never do that. And tacitly, they admit that they aren't Christians, because I have said this before and I will say it again. And I know it's a hard saying for some people, but the baseline faith to call yourself a Christian is willingness to die under torture for your faith. So if you are not willing to do that, you're not Christian. It doesn't matter how good you felt at the Stephen Furtick concert. It doesn't matter how many systematic theologies you read that are not the Bible. It doesn't matter how often you go to the soup kitchen. If that is not the level of your faith, this is the bottom tier level, then you are not a Christian. So this goes out as a warning and a severe rebuke to all the lukewarm Christians. We all know your favorite verse is John 3:16 or Philippians 4:13 or 1 Corinthians 13, you like to repeat, but you do not have the love that God actually requires. When Paul says he can do anything through God who strengthens him, he means endure persecution. You guys don't endure persecution. I go to college with you people. I see you people when I cross paths with you lukewarm Christians on the street. I see how you talk, how you act, how you idolize, these worldly people who you think are Christian. Your faith isn't there. And on Judgment Day, you're going to be one of the workers of iniquity. And that's why you need to actually bear down, because we're in the middle of the great apostasy and the tribulation is around the corner. And no, you are not going to get raptured out of it. And no, there are not good arguments for it. So you people need to stop being sissies and bear down. And treat this as seriously as the job and the school, which you treat more seriously, so you ignore your faith to not offend people. All right. God bless.